Okay, so trying to continue on, I swapped out the cameras. I'm gonna have to get in another little extra camera, and you can probably see it over there in the bin for the moment. Anyhow, I do think that there is something significant coming up. The tower would indicate, with regards to her, something very sudden that will, I think, be very significant, unsettling. I don't know if this is a form of contact or some sort of proof. This is something, okay. Yes, okay, so we're getting the ego card, the card of winning, the card of, look at what I've done, and everybody. This is about, I think for someone here, a very egotistical appeal. Not appeal, but egotistical nature. And this also, I think, is Alicia wanting to feel like somebody understood her or recognized in her. I think her capabilities. And I think she was lured on the computer capabilities, her whatever. They obviously also wanted her to bring that because they didn't want anyone to be able to trace who she was with and talking to. I mean, we know that. Hey, yeah, make sure you bring your phone stuff because we're going to be doing some computer stuff. Yeah, I something along these lines. The Nine of Pentacles. This is about what's in the environment, is someone's pleasure, is somebody being satisfied. I really believe that she felt like she was going to meet with somebody and they were going to work on something. All right, so I'm going to look again at, I might try a different deck, but I think this one will work out with Alicia. What does Spirit, the Creator, want to share with us about Alicia's well-being right now and how it looks for her to be found or located, and whoever is responsible held to account? How are things looking for that? Let me see from that perspective, and the perspective of her being located, the perspective of her well-being, what we need to know. Alicia Navarro, Glendale, Arizona. She was lured away in 2019. What do we need to know about her well-being now in 2021? There's a King of Cups that covers her energy, crossed by a Queen of Pentacles. I don't know if this would feel like potentially parents, like a couple. That's what I'm thinking, just like straight out the gate here. Four of Wands. again, we're dealing with the greater public and society. This is the public. This is like being out in public, a public place, public places, and places that the public go for different things, like it could be concert venues, it could be, you know, a park. Anyway, I feel like this is probably in reference, quite possibly, I don't admittedly know if her parents are married or what the situation is. So I'm looking at the Queen and the Pentacles and the King of Cups, and usually these are two cards. Forgive me. It would be typical for these two, typically for Pentacles and Water, to get along pretty easily. And I tend to liken these two as, you know, mates. This is about the right balance. Temperance comes up, crowning her being found. And that means that they need to work out a better formula in the way that they're going about it. You know, tinker with it a bit. She's got the Devil. This to me is definitely someone oppressing her, definitely someone controlling her. And I get heavy, heavy, heavy control. I get heavy, like, I don't think that she goes out, this person would even, I think she's kept inside. It's just a sense. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Emperor. This can be her father or another authority type figure, could be law enforcement, or an older male that may be responsible for holding her. I'm not sure. It is right across from the Devil. I'm getting a hit that I don't know if these two people, this man and this woman, I don't know if they're Alicia's parents or if they are people that are looking also for her and trying to find the right combo to finding her. See, that makes me again want to say family at least. And I don't have a terrible amount of information on her. I have just some very basics. But here it shows in her recent past, the Devil. And she's definitely, as we know, she's definitely been taken and controlled. Okay. Now, there is an important message about a certain balance with the public and a certain balance in an approach to find her. And that means asking again and appealing to the public again. Not because they're necessarily going to spot her out anywhere, but because I think there are people that know this man that is holding her, and they might suss out that his behavior's been suspicious and he could be holding her. That's what I'm thinking. So there could be people that take it to the next level of like, I think so-and-so is the one doing this, holding her, or could be responsible. We're given the moon about her being located, how her situation is. She's being hidden very clearly. And someone is covering up from the public who they are really also. Trying to keep from being found, for sure. The Six of Swords is in the environment. Now, I hope that this means that she would be guided home. You notice that the 6 and the 4 have kind of a very similar compass effect. This would indicate assistance many times to go move on to a better place, to move on to a more harmonious situation. I think she's well hidden. I do. And I think it's kind of dark that she's, I feel like there's, it may not just be a metaphor, but the place that she's being held in could actually be dark. And I just got a thought that came to me about like that situation in Cleveland where that man held more than one woman. It's not that I necessarily feel like this person is holding more than one other child, and she's a child. She is at this time 15, going to be going towards 16, from what I understand, maybe. Close to that range, because she was 14 when she went missing. She was 5 days short, I believe, of her 15th birthday. Pretty sure about that. But if I don't exactly have the dates exactly, so please don't get too wound up. Anyhow, a lot of 3s, you know. And why am I saying that? We really aren't. It's the first 3. Well, anyhow, hopes and fears. This, to me, with the 3 of Wands, is hoping that the information, or there's an opportunity that goes further, deeper, in order, I think, to find her or locate her. This is having, I think, more of a lead that they can follow up on. And also, I feel like the expansion of opportunity for her to be found. That means people that suspect coming forward with their suspicions, having the guts. If you're wrong, you're wrong. But somewhere this man has held this young kid, and she is a child. She would still be under the ages of 18 and 21. And it's wrong what they're doing. I do feel like there's some kind of means used to restrict her movement. And I think she's definitely kept out of sight. And again, it's just, I'm getting that sense of the women that were held in I think it was, I think it was Cleveland, I think it was actually. And I feel like she's been held in that manner. To finding her, even in further down the line, maybe. There's an adult male here, an authority. I'm wondering, oh, this Emperor. And I feel like I need clarity on that. Prince of Swords and the Hierophant. To me, this is her. Yes. I believe she thought she was going to be taught how to do some stuff online. This is about rules and regulations. This is about, yeah, where you're being taught how to do something. I think that was the premise, that someone was going to teach her something. But I think it's become, they're going to, mess with her and try to try and keep her. Now, Nine of Swords and the Magician. She has there's a great deal of anxiety here around this manipulation. The Magician, who I think is the man that is responsible for this. I think she has, because I do think that I'm so far, I am not being shown in this spread any cards right now that make me feel like there's a real strong leaning towards her still being here. That's what I get. I think she's still here at this time, but it's not a good situation. I think she's been really held extremely like bondage oriented. There's just restraints of some kind, some means of restraint, and I think in a room that's rather dark. This person may even tutor. They may really actually tutor, but they're very manipulative. And I think she's kind of there's an anxiety that this person manipulated her in the way that they did. And I think it's oh God, what do I do now? And she's just trying to, deal with this person each moment as it comes. But I do feel like I'm being shown that she's saying this person lured her there on the premise of teaching her something. And I think to do with probably and bring your computer, your phone, you might want to do that. Hook, line, and sinker, I think she fell for it. Ace of Wands and the Empress. Activity. And abundance. Hermit. Oh, I don't. Well, she could I don't know why I'm looking at her as the Empress, because she's not. I see a woman, this would indicate a mother figure, or abundance that manifests. There's something that happens further here. I certainly hope that this isn't pregnancy or something along these lines. And then I feel the Hermit and the Chariot. There is movement. There is being, they're really looking. There is searching, soul searching, moving forward about how I think to get away. How to get, I feel like she's really definitely thinking about her parents and family, about how to contact them, how she could do that. I don't think she's in any position, you know, for the most part, obviously, because I think they would have heard from her. I really feel like she's restrained, or has been restrained, is kept restrained and isolated. This is giving me hope that maybe she would be able to get away. That they would find her and be successful in that regard. Five of Wands. There's a real fight here, though, on their hands. And trying to hold somebody responsible. To me, this is actually more of a pedophile that tends to go on the run and is seeking to avoid being held responsible. It's like, do they find him and not her? What is this? Or that they find a suspect's name, and but not, you know, they're still like looking for him. This could be that he would go on the run, potentially move again, or move from where he's been, take her and go. But I think that there's a bit of an issue with that too, because I think he's got the means to keep her hidden, but I think he'd be willing to go on the run and keep her, you know, very hidden. I'm also feeling like with that moon, it's really messed with her head. I think there's a lack of clarity about like what day it is and all of that. I think very you know, it's thrown her off of in a lot of ways. Days wise, you know, being able to keep track of time. Man, what is this? Princess of Pentacles, Four of Swords, the Sun, and the King of Swords. Ace of Cups and Justice. Well, this makes me a little uncomfortable here with the Princess of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. I feel like the person, whoever did this, they may find them, but I don't know if they're going to be able to figure out where he's put her and kept her. Maybe this is them getting him to talk. There's exposure on this King of Swords. He came up earlier as and I don't know, this could be, is this, the only problem with the King of Swords to me is like, is that law enforcement or is that the guy that took her? I tend to think it's the guy that took her. Maybe he'll confess to police, because there's definitely, the light is on him, he's exposed. And the water's overflowing from the cup here with justice. I think it's enforcement catching up to him, getting him to talk. Pedophile possibly here with hermit and judgment, being held to account for that behavior. Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Cups. It's all about this, I feel like, his whims and desires and what he wanted. You know, anybody else doesn't really kind of come into the picture. This feels to me like a very self-centered man, very self-centered about what desires he has and how to fulfill them. Okay, just throwing some more cards on Alicia Navarro. I'm being shown that a Queen of Swords. Now, she's not a queen yet because she's not an adult yet. Could this be somebody other than her? Quite possibly. But I was asking about her and checking in on her being found. But it still could be a mother if it isn't her. But there's something that tends to make me feel like this is more her. So I don't know if I'm being overly optimistic or seeing the possibility of her somehow being found as an adult, which could definitely, I suppose, happen because, you know, it's definitely happened in the case of like the Cleveland situation. And that would be, I think, probably lucky if, and that sounds horrible, but I don't know. I do see an adult woman here, Queen of Swords, that's gaining in strength, okay? Like I said, this could be a detective as far as I know. This could be your mother. This could be somebody else that's, you know, just helping to work this case. But when I look at it as the possibility of this being Alicia, a lot kind of makes more sense because she's an air sign. And I believe it shows that she felt like she was going to strengthen some kind of skill or ability. And I feel like, again, I'm being shown with education and learning with the Eight of Pentacles that I feel like she may again have been lured on the premise of strengthening, learning how to do certain, perhaps things with her computer or technology that were really cool and that she felt would be a huge benefit in her life. This could, the only way that this makes sense with me, to me, showing her as an adult is if she survives to an adulthood and is able to relate, maybe, that this is how this person initially drew her in. Let's just see what the cards say. There is clarity, exposure on a Queen of Swords, and justice. So I'm seeing that there will be some form of justice yet in her case. Page of Pentacles and the Moon. There are hunches that they have. But as far as like real strong, I think, understanding of where she is, it's gonna really take them, I think, detectives to use their intuition about the type of people that would do that, where they might tend to go to. I think they're still will be trying to look at potential SOs and things like that in the area, or that have come into the area. Very, very difficult. I can really see that, but I do believe law enforcement will get a big break coming up. There is some exposure. There is clarity where justice is concerned. And in regard to the mysterious, I think, also note that she may have left, that this was a setup. You know, she was lured under the premise of learning something really cool, but for someone's shady desires. These could also be women that would be helping to, I think, bring authorities closer to finding her. But again, I think she could be law enforcement. The Six of Swords is about children. This is nostalgia, childhood past. I still think this could be Alicia as an adult is found, or she may have a child. I kind of got that before, but I think I can only say that with the tarot, you're shown a trend of possibilities, likelihoods, if things continue as they have. And that is what I'm being shown. I feel like this person could hold her successfully somehow until adulthood. Not perhaps so unlike the cases in Cleveland and elsewhere. Though it's not very common, I'm thinking that this is her reflecting back on her childhood. And she may have a child by then. Or maybe when she has a child, she'll be thinking about this. There's something. And the Hermit. They are looking for... There is searching. This really shows law enforcement is searching. And they're getting closer on some way. Or at some point they're going to. With that 7, when I go down this way. In searching for her. They are like, look at, it's like laser eyes. And I think they will locate her. They haven't stopped trying. It's just frustrating. Here's that angle again, the messages of an opportunity to learn something. Somebody was maybe offering to tutor, like again, I keep going back to that. I feel like somebody was saying, well, listen, I can show you how to create, use this software. And, but it's really best if you bring your computer and Maybe better make sure you bring your phone so you can let your parents know, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm putting out there as a possibility, folks. The kind of crap someone may have laid at her step that they knew that she would jump at the chance. And it looks like this is the premise. This is also, I think, the work and the effort put in by law enforcement and I think the public to try to keep an eye out for her. Just seeing what I can. Okay, now, okay, that's the Eight of Wands. There's going to be activity with this cover up. With this is, it's active. I think she's still with us. I hope so, anyway. And that she's able to manage this trauma somehow. Two of Wands. Look at this. Okay, so let's see. Children, pedophile, or the search, right? Searching for a child. There's an opportunity. There's some kind of opportunity that comes up further in the future. And I think it's taken, you know, it's acted upon. But I feel that I can see how it may be that she would end up just maybe at the age of 18 or 21 being found. Or able to, you know, be exposed, you know, by, you know, for them to find her. And be watching the right people. That's big, is that they pick the right person to be looking at. I think they have, like I've said, people in mind, but there's some boxes that have yet to be ticked off that are very important. Okay, let's see. High Priestess. This is about things that are hidden, things, people, secrets, that which you were not aware of, or what has been kept or isn't apparent. And I'm going to drop that card right down under that 6. So this is about her being secreted. And I feel like for her childhood, I do wonder. And I don't want to give... These readings are all alleged and for interest purposes only. They're not... I'm putting out theories. I'm putting out possibilities that are likely, as the cards indicate. So I'm seeing at this time, there's a good yet chance that she could survive to adulthood and somehow be found. Okay? That her hiding place will be found. Exposed. Wherever she's being held will be exposed. Yes, a law enforcement, I think, will come after this person. Definitely heats up. The Tower. I think he's going to be feeling quite possibly, I'm getting that sense of Cleveland again, of where he's gotten comfortable with the idea that that they have her, and that they're not going to be caught for what they did with regard to her. And I think that's going to be here comes the big, huge reset, and here comes a lot of activity on that secret. This is something that I think a tip. Yeah. Where she's been held. That was my stomach going, so sorry about that. The Tower and the Eight of Swords. She is like suddenly, I think, found. I'm thinking like, what? She was a little blonde girl. She too was taken, and this man kept her, and she ended up having a child. I want to say Casey or something like that. I probably don't have her name right, but I can see her face. I'm better with faces than names at this point. So again, I feel like maybe the cards show that there is a possibility, and I think it's a pretty strong one, which gives me hope that she may end up being one of those people that is found and, you know, has to then take her life from there on out, with one day at a time, I'm sure. So listen, I've got to go and wrap this up. If you like this content, please make sure that you are subscribed, and check on that you're subscribed from time to time. As I said, YouTube can be a bit buggy. So, anywho, I will be talking to you hopefully tonight with the live on Ron Unconditional Love. Sometime after 6. I'm thinking I might be home closer to 7. I don't know. I just don't know with the traffic and getting back. But as soon as I'm back and I'm comfortable and ready, I'm going to pop on and see what I can do. And then I have tomorrow's live with Kevin. Oh gosh, Kevin, sorry. Loving Vibrations Tarot. So make sure that you leave any questions in the community tabs post for tomorrow's live, because that's what I'm using to try and keep things going more smoothly. I don't see any questions there yet, so I don't want to have to be running back and forth again because people didn't leave a question, but now they've joined the live and now they want these questions being read. So please make sure that if you want a question read tomorrow, that you leave it in the community tabs under the appropriate post. Okay. I will talk to you guys soon.